Tethering your camera to your computer was a relatively straightforward process with a cable, a camera, and a computer, but now there's this. Trying to keep up with the dongles you need and the hubs and the transmitters and whatever else I use makes staying, or at least looking organized, more complicated until I started to use this. Inovativ calls it a DigiPlate, PROAIM calls it a laptop workstation platform, and this is how I streamline my laptop setup and stay portable in every shooting situation. All right, so before I break this all down, let's get into the pieces that I'm trying to find a home for. First up is the CalDigit Thunderbolt 4 Hub. I use this as almost like the brains of the operation. I'll plug everything that I possibly can into it, whether it be on the USB 3.0 side or the USB-C side, and then I'll plug this hub to my laptop so that I can reduce the amount of things that have to go directly into my computer. Then you have the dual Displayport adapter that I got from OWC that allows me to put two monitors into it, and then I can plug it into the hub, and the computer will still recognize each of those monitors separately. From there, I have a DJI SDR Transmission System. What I like to use this for is anytime I need a monitor that's a bit farther away and I don't want to run a long HDMI cable, this will allow me to kind of reach out and touch the monitor so I can place it anywhere I need to on set, or even somewhat offset and still get a good transmission. It has a full-size HDMI on one side, and then it can be powered by USB-C on the other side. I like to have some type of a card reader that's out external. I know my computer has a SD card reader in it, but with this, it'll allow me to kind of pick up any footage from anybody that's running behind the scenes on their own personal computers, and then I could just bag it up to a hard drive and then give them back their card. This is a T7, so I like to have one of those on standby, or any type of updated hard drive. This is a V-mount plate, and then I'll just take a V-mount battery. This V-mount battery in particular has a USB-C. It has a micro USB, and then it has a full-size USB 3.0 on it so that I can plug various things in, and it has a P-tap or D-tap as well, just in case there's a need for that. From there, then you just got to kind of deal with all the cables. So these are the Displayport cables that I would be using inside of that OWC adapter. Then there's a full-size HDMI that would work with the DJI SDR transmission. Then I have some type of a power cable for my laptop if I need it, and then just a traditional USB-C cable that I can use for the hard drives or the card readers or what have you. All right, so those are all the players, those are all the pieces. Now let's get into how I fit it onto the plate. One thing I will say is I love how it has these little pieces that basically keep my laptop connected to the plate, but once you unscrew those, you flip it over. I'm going to start off with the stuff that I consider to be the least important. So, for example, it came with legs. So I'll point out the 4 legs that came with it. And it has an adapter so that you can put it on a light stand or a stand in general. And then my card reader, I kind of feel like that doesn't matter because you could use any card reader. And then the hard drive is literally any hard drive that you want. And the same goes for the V-mount battery. Then from there, things get a little bit more technical, if you will. So, for example, I had the mini Displayport adapter. If you use the HDMI adapter, it could work too, but sometimes the computer might recognize it as one display. The DJI, I used to use an Apple TV, but this is a little bit more of a solid connection. And then this brain of the entire operation, which is that CalDigit hub, I feel like that is the one piece that is mandatory for me in all of these setups, is to make sure that I have that to connect everything to. So a gift and a curse of this entire plate is that it does give you some of these thumb screws or things that can be screwed in with your fingers, but it's not toolless. So if you start to buy plates like these that might be able to hold a hard drive, or even this one that's specifically made for my hub, those are going to require you using some tools to screw those pieces in. I will say that I don't have any plans on taking them out and putting them in and taking them out and putting them in. So the tools aren't really a deal breaker, but I just wanted to kind of put you on notice that it's not just something you can just do that's toolless. Some of these other pieces that I'm using don't really have adapters or things that are custom for them, so I just kind of rigged some pieces together based off of what came with the plate to try to hold those things in place. That's it. That's my plate. I'll list out all the parts in the description. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. Peace.